Hello everyone, welcome to this video series on arithmetic. We will continue with our discussion on profit and loss, and in this session we will discuss the cases of cheatings and dishonesty. So this is a very important one and a bit uh, difficult in terms of the nature of question which appear in the CAT or other MBA examination. So this we will try to understand and use the same method which we have been using so far in our earlier discussions with respect to profit and loss. We will see first with the basics uh, with a conventional approach, and then we will see what is a shortcut or a very intuitive and a time saving approach which is a preferred one going forward. So we'll start with illustration 1, and through the illustration we will try to understand the concept of cheatings and the dishonesty, and how does it impact the profit and loss of a shopkeeper or a seller. So whenever we say a profit or a loss percentage or something, that I mean it's implicitly understood that that's spoken in terms of a shopkeeper. If the question is what is the percentage profit, so that means since the shopkeeper is running a business, so that profit would be uh, unless otherwise stated would apply to the shopkeeper's business. So with this in background, now we'll see question number 1. It says that a shopkeeper sells his articles at cost price but uses a 40 balance which reads 100 gram for 800 gram. What is his actual percentage profit? So see, first we will try to first understand the basics or the theory behind this. What happens? So the question is, find the percentage profit. Percentage profit for whom? That we know that is for the shopkeeper. So what is the percentage profit? For that we need to know what is the selling price and what is the cost price, right? What is the cost price for the shopkeeper and what is the selling price of the shopkeeper? Now shopkeeper has bought some articles from say a wholesaler. He would have bought at a price say CP X, and suppose he bought Q quantity. So total cost price for the shopkeeper is X into Q, right? X into Q, where Q is the number of quantity and X is the price of one quantity, right? Now selling price is what? Selling price here is uses of 40 balance. Now see, there are two things. He's selling at the same rate, same unit rate, that is X. However, the quantity is different now. Quantity is different. It would be Q1. What is that Q1 that we need to ascertain? Q1 is the quantity which the seller would be actually selling, right? So what happens now? He has a balance, right? The balance wherein if you put a weight of 800 gram, actual weight of the item put over here is 800 gram. However, this will show as 1000 gram. So here we need to understand, suppose I am a buyer, I am a customer to the shopkeeper. So I will pay price for the quantity which is shown to me. So if the machine shows to me that a given quantity weighs 1000 gram, I will pay him, I will pay the shopkeeper at a rate of 1000 gram into X is the per unit price. So 1000x. So 1000x is the price which I will be paying to the shopkeeper, I as a customer. So what is the selling price the shopkeeper receives? That is 1000x, right? So here what happens? Here basically shopkeeper receives 1000x, and what is the actual cost? Whereas actual cost is he had put a item which actually weighed only 800 grams. So here it is 800 gram, 800 into X is the cost price. Selling price is 1000x. So percentage profit will be nothing but 1000 SP upon CP minus 1, that we know. SP upon CP minus 1. So this is SP is 1000x upon 800x minus 1. So that we can say here it is 5 by 4 minus 1, which is 1 by 4, which is 25%. This we can say, and this is the answer to this question. So therefore, now I just summarize what we have studied so far. That if balance reads 1000 gram for 800 gram of weight, of actual weight, so this means that the customer will pay the shopkeeper for this 1000 gram, right? Whereas the shopkeeper actually had put a weight on of only 800 grams. So the cost price for that transaction, the shopkeeper had to pay only for 800 gram. So suppose it's x rupees per unit, so that is 800x, and here the shopkeeper is receiving 1000x, so the profit is 200x. 200x of profit, right, over a CP of 800x. So therefore, percentage profit is nothing but 25%. So this is what is basically summary in doing. Now we will try to convert this into the fractional multiplying factor that we have been doing so in the on the illustrations. So what will be the multiplying factor? The multiplying factor F will be CP into, I mean, what is multiplying factor? Multiplying factor is always SP upon CP, right? So here multiplying factor will be what is being sold, that is 1000 upon 800, which is 10 by 8, which is 5 by 4. So going forward, we will always deal in terms of multiplying factor, that because that is easy. Here we easily obtained it's 5 by 4, which is nothing but 25% profit, same as what we had obtained here, right? So now going forward, we will use the multiplying con- factor concept. That is very easy and intuitive to understand. Now let us move to question number 2, which reads that a shopkeeper marks up his good by 40% and gives a discount of 10%. Apart from this, he uses a 40 balance also, which reads 1000 gram for 900 grams. What is it net percentage profit? So I solve this question with the two methods. One is a generic approach. Generic approach. Here, see what happens. Shopkeeper marks up his goods by 40%. So let the cost price of a unit quantity is equal to x per unit, and let the quantity be, say, q, right? So shopkeeper would have bought q quantity at x per unit from a wholesaler, right? So what is the cost price for the shopkeeper? That is nothing but q into x, right? Now what is the selling price? So to obtain selling price, first we will obtain the mark price. Mark price is what? Cost price into 1 plus markup percent. Here cost price for per unit, let us say per unit. So MP per unit. So here it becomes CP is x into markup is 40%. So 1.4, right? Now a discount is also there of 10%. So SP per unit, selling price per unit, will be nothing but 1.4 into x into discount of 10% means 0.90, right? Or 9 by 10. So therefore this becomes 14 9 ja 126, 1.26x is the selling price per unit. Now we have obtained the selling price per unit. Now quantity, we will find out what is the quantity. He had bought total q quantity. However, he is using a balance which shows, so the balance shows 900 gram as 1000 gram. So q gram, it will show as 1000 upon 900 into Q, right? So this is the quantity, this is the new quantity which is being shown, right? So selling price, total selling price, total selling price is this quantity Q dash, which is nothing but 10Q by 9 into the selling price per unit, which is 1.26x, right? This is the total selling price, which is 12.6x into Q by 9. And what is the cost price? Cost price is Qx. So therefore profit we can write as, therefore profit we can say is SP upon CP, we can write SP upon CP. So that is 12.6 Qx by 9 upon CP. CP is Qx minus 1, that we can say. Qx gets cancelled. Here uh, this is nothing but 1.4 minus 1, which is zero point 0.4, which we can say is 40% is the answer. Profit percentage is 40%. So this is this simple. If we go by the generic approach, I mean, here I have broken down everything. I have assumed the CP of 1 unit. What is the total quantity which the shopkeeper bought? Shopkeeper bought Q quantity. So total cost price which the shopkeeper had to pay to the wholesaler was Qx. Right? Now, after having bought this, the shopkeeper will be selling to the customer. Right? So to sell to the customer, he is marking up the price. Marking up the price by how much? He has a CP per unit is X, and that markup by M is 40%, so it becomes 1.4x, the new markup price. And selling price is, after a discount of 10%, it becomes 1.26x, right? Now, so this is the selling price per unit. He will be selling to the customer. Now, while selling, he uses a 40 balance. So now what happens? That balance shows 900 gram as a 100, I mean 1 kg. So and customer will be paying for 1 kg because this is the weight which is shown to him. So customer knows that actually he is getting 1000 kg, so he will pay 1000 kg and at a rate of x, so 1000x. However, in actual, that is only that weighs 900 gram. So if 900 shows 1000 grams, so Q gram will be shown as 1000 upon 900 into Q by unitary method. So this is the revised quantity which customer would be paying for, right? Which the customer would be paying for if the uh, shopkeeper is selling on the quantity which he had bought from the wholesaler. So the net quantity he will be selling will be 1000 Q upon 900, because this is the Q dash, this is the quantity which is perceived to be sold to the customer, right, to the retailer customer, or the retailer customer would be paying for this Q dash quantity. Q dash quantity at a rate of what? At a rate of 1.26x, right? So this is the new selling price. The cost price we knew with respect to shopkeeper. This is the selling price. This is the cost price. So selling price upon cost price will give us the profit percentage, and that we got as 40%. So this is the most generic approach. However, this is slightly time consuming. So now we will see a method 2, which is a preferred one, and that goes by the name of multiplying factor. We have been using this concept of multiplying factor very extensively in percentages and profit and loss. So same we will use here. Now let us see what happens. We have to find SP, right? Let us say the original CP is given by CP. Now, and when I say SP here, that is the total SP, right? And CP is total CP of all the quantity which the shopkeeper had bought. Now, when he marks up the goods by 40%, that means what? He marking up the goods means, in the last session we had seen on the discussion on mark price and the discount, that that has a incremental impact on the selling price, right? So CP multiplied by 40%, 40% means that is 2 by 5. 2 by 5, increment of 2 by 5 means that is effectively 7 by 5 as a multiplying factor. And then discount will have a decreasing impact on the selling price. So discount of 90% over mark price. So 90% or 10% means 9 by 10, right? 10% means 1 by 10. 1 by 10 of decrease means 9 by 10, right? This is, and then he uses a faulty balance also, which shows 1000 gram for 900 gram. So now this faulty balance has a tendency to give a profit uh, impact to the shopkeeper, because this will enhance the selling price, total selling price, because this is enhancing the quantity which is being shown to the customer. Customer will be paying for 1000 gram, whereas the actual weight is only 900 gram. So this will enhance the profit. Therefore, it will have a increasing impact. So it will be 10 by 9, right? So this is the selling price. This is the cost price. This, if we solve further, this becomes CP into, I think, 10 10. It becomes 7 by 5. So from here we can say that SP upon CP is 7 by 5. So 7 by 5 means is a net multiplying factor, which is 7 by 5. It means profit is nothing but 2 by 5. 2 by 5, which is 40%. This is very so simple. I mean, using this concept. Now I just write here what are the 7 by 5 impact of markup, 9 by 10 impact of discount, and 10 by 9 impact of faulty balance. So we get an answer of 40%. So basically what we did, we have to find final SP. Final SP will be CP into some factors, right? CP into different, now markup will have an increasing impact on the selling price, because if we are increasing the marking up, that means we are increasing the selling price effectively. Then discount will have a decreasing impact, and the faulty balance will have an increasing impact. So total factor we found out to be 7 by 5, and this is nothing but 40%. This way, this is very simple, and we can get the answer in very less time. So this is the preferred method. Now I move to question number 3, and here we will see uh, that the question says a shopkeeper sells his goods at a cost price only, but he still manages to gain a profit of 31.25% because he has manipulated his weights. Find how many grams he is actually selling at a place of 1000 gram. So this is again a simple problem. Now see what is uh, so now I not go by the generic approach that I believe you can do. You can assume the weight and the per unit cost and then proceed ahead. I directly go by the direct approach. So here the profit is 31.25%. Now 31.25% is nothing but I mean see I have already told that percentage fraction equivalence is very important, and when we see 0.25 0.50, we should be very, I mean, uh, sure this is going to be a dicable number. So denominator will have either 2 or a 5 or their multiples. So here in this case, this is, we know 1 by 16 is what, 6.25. 6.25 into 5 is 31.25. So this is nothing but effectively 5 upon 16, right? 5 upon 16. So what will be the profit factor? Multiplication factor for profit will be 1 plus 5 by 16, which is 21 by 16, right? So SP will be what? SP will be CP into this factor, right? Which is CP into 21 by 16. And this is the total CP, total SP. total SP, and CP is total CP. Now, when we look here, its question says the shopkeeper sells his goods at a cost price only. That is at a per unit price. It's cost price only. But he manages to gain a profit of 31.25% on an overall transaction because of the manipulated weights. So total SP again can be written as total SP will be nothing but SP per unit into quantity, right? And SP per unit remains same, that is CP. SP per unit is nothing but CP per unit into quantity, right? Total SP. So now see what happens here. I mean, this is again going to be a generic approach only, and in the second half I solve with the multiplication factor. So here what happens now? See, this is CP per unit, CP, total CP. So now let us suppose that let's assume that the balance shows Q quantity for 1000 gram, right? So here what is a CP? CP means actually he has put a weight of 1000 gram. So this is total CP. So CP per unit into 1000 gram into 21 by 16. This is total SP, and this should be equal to the total SP here, which is CP per unit into Q quantity, right? Q quantity. So this gets cancelled out. So from here we can say that Q is nothing but 1000 into 21 by 16, right? So from here we can say that uh, we solve this out. How much does this get? So here it is 1312.5, right? 131 gram. However, now see, this is using the generic approach. So now using the multiplying factor method, right? Uh, so here actually find how many grams is actually selling. So I just modify this question a bit, language actually. Find how many grams is gram is balance showing at the place of. I mean, so if the original weight is 1000 gram, how much is the balance showing? This is the question. Let us suppose. So now here what we will do, using the multiplying, we know that profit factor is 21 by 16, right? And 21 by 16 will be from nothing but this 40 weight. And 40 weight is what? I mean, how will the profit be accruing to the shopkeeper? Because only when the balance shows a higher weight than the actual weight, right? So let us suppose the balance shown by the, I mean, balance shows X weights for 1,000 gram of actual weight, right? So from here we can find easily X is equal to nothing but 21 by 16 into 1,000, which is nothing but 1312.5 gram. And this is nothing but 31.25 basically. So this is the direct answer. Now I will move to question number 4. Here it says a shopkeeper sells his goods at CP only, but he still manages to gain a profit of 26.67% because he has manipulated his weights. Find what is the actual weight kept on the weighing machine when the machine reading is 950 gram. So now see, uh, he manages to gain a profit of 26.67%. Now what is 26.67%? See, again, for this region the percentage fraction equivalence becomes very easy, and it's always advisable to remember the percentage fraction equivalence at least up till 1 by 30. So here we know that 1 by 15 is 6.67. So 6.67 into 4 is nothing but 26.67. So this we can write as 4 by 15. 4 by 15. So multiplying factor for the profit becomes 19 by 15. So we can say that 19 by 15 will be what? Will be because of the multiplying factor of the 40 weight, and it's a profit to the shopkeeper. When will the shopkeeper be in profit? Because if the machine shows a more weight than the actual weight, machine is showing a weight of 950, the reading is 950. So what should be the actual weight? Let it be X. So from here we can say X 950. So actual weight is actually 750 gram. So this is very simple. Using this, what I have done, that this factor 19 by 50, this profit factor is because of only the weights, right? He would be selling in actual the lower weight, however the machine would be showing a higher weight, and because of that he is gaining, right? So this sort of a problem actually we can solve using this concept. Now when we move to different type of a problem using the similar concept but different instance or a different scenario of a cheating, wherein a meter scale at a cloth shops, those are made up of iron material, and iron being metallic actually has a contraction and expansion property depending upon whether it's exposed to heat or a cold. So that actually creates a discrepancy in the actual reading vis-a-vis the reading shown by the meter scale. So that concept we will see here. Question says a metallic meter scale used in a cloth store expands by 10% due to heat. Find the profit which the cloth trader will make if he sells at a markup of 13.33%. So let us see this question. What is this? So suppose this is a meter scale. Meter scale means the original length is 1 meter, right? Now in summers, this expands and becomes a expands by 10%. So it becomes 110 centimeter. So now if a shopkeeper tries to measure a cloth, he will be actually measuring a cloth of a original length 110 centimeter. However, since the customer knows that this is a meter scale and this will only meters 1 meter, so he will be paying for 1 meter actually, right? He will be paying for 1 meter. However, so basically what happens? This measures cloth of length is equal to 110 centimeter, but customer will pay only for 1 meter because this is just a meter scale. Because the customer knows this is a meter scale, so the length of the meter scale will be only 1 meter. So he will be paying for 1 meter cloth only. However, the shopkeeper using this scale would have cut a cloth equivalent to a length of 110 centimeter. So in this case, the shopkeeper would be incurring a loss, right? This will result in a loss. This will result in a loss to shopkeeper. Shopkeeper. Now in winters, because of the code, the meter scale contracts. Say suppose this becomes 90 meter, 90 centimeter. The original length was 1 meter, however, because of the 10% contraction, it becomes 90 centimeter. So what happens? Now in this case, the meter scale would actually meter on growth of length 90 centimeter. However, the customer would be paying for 1 meter because customer knows this is a meter scale, so this would have actually measured 1 meter. So in this case, the shopkeeper would be making a profit. So this is a basic theory behind this meter scale. Now using this concept, we will try to find out the net percentage profit or loss. So in question says a metallic meter scale used in a cloth store expands by 10% due to heat. Find the profit which the cloth trader will make if he sells at a markup of 10%. Percentage markup is 13.33%. Now 13.33%, what is 13.33%? We know 6.67% is 1 by 15 and 13.33 is 2 times 6.67. So this is nothing but 2 by 15, right? Find the profit which the cloth trader would be. So net factor will be what? Net profit factor will be the markup factor, which is 1 plus 2 by 15, which is 17 by 15, into the length factor because of the meter scale, and here it is 10%, expands by 10%. So when the meter expands by 10%, it's a loss scenario, right? It's a loss scenario. In expansion of 10 meters means customer is actually paying for only 100 meters, whereas the cloth offered to the customer is 110 centimeter. So here it becomes 10 by 11. 10 by 11. So this we will solve, and after solving this becomes, I think, 5 2 and 5 3 34 upon 33, right? So profit basically is nothing but 1 by 33. 1 by 33 means 3.303 percentage profit. Net profit is here. This 17 by 15 is because of the impact of markup, and 10 by 11 is the impact of expansion of meter scale, right? And this is the final profit factor. So this way we have achieved this answer 3.03 percentage. This we could have solved using a generic approach, assuming x and the quantity, I mean length of the cloth. But I mean, going forward, this is a preferred method, and we adopt this only. Now again we will see a question 6 here on a similar concept. It says that a cloth store marks up the price of a piece of a cloth by 13.33% and then offers two successive discount of 6.25% and 14.28%. What is the net percentage profit or loss the shopkeeper use if shopkeeper uses a meter scale, which contracts by 4.76% in winters, right? So here, see, the question is, we will have to find the factor, or what I uh, we can write SP is equal to CP into different factors. What will be the impact of different factors? Mark First is the markup factor. Markup of 13.33%. 13.33, here it is markup is 13.33%. So it becomes 13.33 is 2 by 15. So we can say that multiplying factor for markup is nothing but 17 by 15. So selling price will go up by 17 by 15, right? Now second factor is two successive discounts. So discount 1 is 6.25%. 6.25 is 1 by 16. So multiplying factor for the first discount is 15 by 16. So this discount has a tendency to decrease the selling price. So this will be 15 upon 16. Now third factor is second discount, which is of equivalent to 14.28%. 14.28% is nothing but 1 by 7. So the factor corresponding to D2 is nothing but 6 by 7, because this is a decreasing 1 by 7 less than 1. So that means 6 by 7. 6 by 7. So this is uh, the selling price. So we can say profit would be nothing but, profit factor is nothing but 17 by 15 into 15 by 16 into 6 by 7. 15 gets cancelled. This 8 gets cancelled. So this becomes 51 upon 56. Sorry, I mean, I have missed out one more factor here. Now the fourth factor is the contraction factor, right? Contraction factor, that is a meter scale. Let us assume that to be a length factor. So length factor here is what? Length. Now see, the meter scale contracts by 4.76%. So this has a profit generating impact to the shopkeeper. Why? Because if a meter scale contracts, then the reading shown to the customer will be lower than the actual reading, right? Actual reading. So it means that, oh sorry, in a case, I mean, if it contracts, then the actual cloth given to the customer, actual reading, actual length of the cloth given to the customer will be lower than the, lower than 1 meter, right? 1 meter. So in that case, it will have a positive impact to the shopkeeper. So therefore we can say that, and 4.76 percent, 4.76% we know is what? 1 by 20 is 5%. So this is 1 by 21. 1 by 21. So factor would be what? Factor would be, I mean, 20 upon 20. I mean, this is, now see, uh, so how to read this? To read this, it says that, so to read this, we have to look it at like there's a scale of a length 21 meter. It contracts to 20 meters. Length is 21. Now it contracts to 20 meter length. 20 meter length. So customer will be paying for what? 21 meter, because the because he knows that it is a scale of a length 21 meter. However, the shopkeeper will be actually giving a cloth of length only 20 meters, right? So the factor here would be, 21 upon 20. Why? Because the shopkeeper will be getting a price equivalent to 21 into some x price per unit, and actual cost to the shopkeeper will only be 20, because he is giving just a length of 20 meters. So 20 meters into x, so it becomes 21 by 20, right? So here I multiply one more term, which is 21 by 20. So this becomes 7 3 ja, and right. So here it's like 17 9 ja 153 upon 28 ja 160. So this is basically a case of a loss. So loss percentage is nothing but 7 by 160, and 7 by 160 is what, 1 by 16 we know is 6.25. 6.25 into 7 is 43.7. It is 1, and further 1 by 10, so this becomes 4.37% approximately. We can calculate that, but this will be the approximate loss percentage, and this is the answer. So what we did, we analyzed different factors. Those factors were four factors. One was the markup, second was the one discount, then another discount, then the length because of the meter scale. So those factors we analyze their impact, how would those factors impact the selling price, and selling price upon cost price is the multiplying factor for the profit. Effective net factor for the profit, and that we calculated, and therefore in this case this was a loss. So net loss we have found out. Now question number 7 says that a milkman mixes water such that milk and water is in ratio 8:1. Further, he sells at a markup of 21.42%. Find his profit percent. So let us see what is the final selling price. Will be nothing but the initial cost price, total cost price into different factors. What is the first factor? He is mixing water, right? So quantity factor, and then second factor is markup factor. So first we will say markup is 21.42. 21.42 is nothing but 7.14 into 3, and 7.14 is 114, 1 by 14. So this is 3 by 14, right? Then factor for the markup would be 17 by 14. 17 by 14. And then this is the first factor. Second factor is the quantity factor. Quantity factor. So here what is it? Now quantity of milk is actually 8 by 9, right? Quantity of milk is 8 by 9. So this can be interpreted as that customer, the milkman will be getting a selling price for 9 liters. However, he will be only selling 8 liters because water is free. So he will be selling say 9 into say x rupees per unit, and whereas the cost is only for 8 liters. So the factor FQ can be written as 9 by 8. So selling price into, now the quantity factor will have a increasing impact on selling price because it is 9 by 8, and the markup factor will also have an increasing impact on selling price. So this will be 17 by 14. So therefore we can say the profit factor is 17 9 ja 153, and 14 8 ja is 120, 1112. So here the profit becomes 41 by 112. So this if we solve, this will be roughly around 35-36%. In actual this is 36.61%. So pretty simple, using this concept of multiplying factor and trying to understand what impact those factor will have on the selling price vis-a-vis the cost price, right? Now another problem of, I believe, the similar nature. Here it says that Ganga Yadav, a milkman, mixes 80 liters of water with every 720 liter of milk and sells the mixture at markup of 12.5%. Find his profit percentage. So same concept again we will use here. Here selling price is equal to cost price into impact of different factors. The first factor is say markup. Markup is 12.5%, which is nothing but 1 by 8. So factor will be 1 plus 1 by 8 because this has an increasing impact. So this will be 9 by 8. Second factor is quantity. Quantity means, no, see, he will be selling, factor for quantity means SP upon CP for this. I mean, so what, I mean, he will be selling 80 plus 720, which is 800 liters, right? And getting a price for 800 liters at say X rupees per unit. And however, actual cost he will be incurring only for 720 because water is free anyway. So 720 into X, right? So here the factor becomes 80 by 720, which is nothing but 10 by 9. So f of quantity is 10 by 9. So this I can write now. SP is equal to CP into first factor is 9 by 8 and second is 10 by 9. So here we can say SP upon CP is equal to profit, net profit factor is 9 by 8 into 10 by, which is 10 by 8, which we can say is 5 by 4. So therefore profit is equal to 1 by 4, which is 25%. Pretty simple one. Here question number 9 says a milkman mixes water such that milk and water is in ratio 8:1. Further, he sells the mixture at rupees 66 per liter. Find his profit percentage if he mixes water which costs, he mixes Bisleri water which costs rupees 20 per liter, whereas the pure milk costs rupees 65 per liter. So now this is a bit a different question than what we have been solving so far. However, this is very simple. Let us see what does this mean. Here it says that water, milk and water is being mixed. However, water is not free now. Water is not free. Water has also some cost. So let us see how to proceed ahead. A question of this nature. So here it says that water and milk is in ratio 8:1. We will use the concept of alligation which we have learnt in the earlier sessions on ratio and mixtures and alligations. So now 8:1 is the milk and water ratio, and the price of milk is 65 per liter and water is 20 per liter. So what is the average cost? That will mean a ratio 1:8, right? 1:8. So basically what this distance of 9 unit, 1 plus 8, 9 unit represents 65 minus 20, which is 45. So 9 unit represent 45, so 1 unit will represent 5. So this will be nothing but 65 minus 5 or 20 plus 8 into 5, 40, right, which is equal to 60. So if average cost of mixture becomes 60 per liter, right, 60 per liter. So we have to find the profit percentage. So total SP is equal to price into quantity. Now price is, it's being sold at 66 rupees, 66 rupees, right, 66, and quantity is how much? Quantity is 8 plus 1, 9, right? Suppose 8 unit of milk, 1 unit of water, so it is 9 units. And total CP is what? Total CP average cost becomes 60 per liter, so it is 60, and quantity again is 9 liters only, 9, right? So it is 540, and here it is 594. So therefore percentage profit would be 594 upon 540 minus 1, which is equal to 10%, right? So pretty simple. This way we could we can solve this question. I intentionally did not use the concept of multiplying factor because here this water is not free, right? So I mean, let us see the, if we use this concept of SP is equal to CP into F1 into F2, right? So that concept we can use here. However, that will be a bit tricky because here addition of Bisleri water, which costs 20 per liter, has a tendency to impact not only SP but also the CP of the overall mixture will change, right? So if we are able to take care of the change in CP, then very much we can use that concept. Otherwise, the traditional and the generic approach is quite easy and very time efficient. So we will go by this approach only in this question. Now, question number 10 is actually includes the all the changes or different factors which could be seen in a market vis-a-vis in with respect to a profit or a loss for a shopkeeper. So that I have included here. So let us go through the question. It reads that a shopkeeper purchases rice from a wholesaler at a discount of 8.33% and brings it to his own store, where a goat eats away 6.25% of the rice. The retailer mixes some synthetic rice. Assume that the synthetic rice comes free of cost to the extent of 12.5% of the leftover rice. Further, while selling, he offers a discount of 6.66%. However, uses a balance which reads 11 kg for 10 kg actual weight. Find his percentage profit or loss if it is given that the wholesaler who sold rice originally to the shopkeeper also used a faulty balance which reads 22 kg for every 21 kg weight put over it. So very interesting one, very interesting question. Let us see how to move ahead in question of this nature. So see, we will write this as SP is equal to CP into. Now let us see what will be the impact of different factors. Or one thing, I mean, before coming to this method, I try to break down this into different factors. Let's assume that shopkeeper buys Q kg of rice at X per kg price, right? At rupees X per kg. This we have assumed. So when shopkeeper buys Q kg, so now let us see. Quantity is Q kg, but it's given that the shopkeeper has bought from wholesaler who is using a balance which is a 41 and that reads 22 kg for every 21 kg. So I mean, if actual weight is 21 kg, the reading will be 22 kg. So if the reading was X kg, so if the reading is 22 kg, the actual weight is 21 kg. However, when the reading is X kg, the actual weight will be 21 upon 22 into X, right? So now what will be the quantity? Quantity would be initial Q into, now because of this impact, it changes to 21 by 22, sorry, Q, right? 21 by 22. Now after this what happens? And now brings it to his own store, where a goat eats away 6.25%. So further the 6.25% of the rice has been eaten away by a goat. 6.25% means 1 by 16. So what remains is 15 by 16, right? Now the retailer mixes some synthetic rice, assuming the that synthetic rice comes free of cost to the extent of 12.5%. So therefore quantity will again go up. Now this quantity will be added by further 12.5. 12.5 means 1 by 8. So this becomes 9 by 8. So this is the final quantity, right? This is the final quantity, final actual quantity, right? Now, when selling, he offers a discount of 6.66%. So this discount will affect the selling price per unit. Now, balance which reads 11 kg for the 10 kg. So what is the uh, weight being sold, weight being sold is what? Now this actual weight Q into, he uses a balance which reads 11 kg for 10 kg. 11 kg for 10 kg means what? 10 kg of actual weight, when we put on a balance, it's showing 11 kg. So when we put capital Q kg, it will show 11 by 10 into capital Q, right? So which is nothing but 11 by 10 into, and this is Q into 11 by 10 into 21 by 22 into 15 by 16 into 9 by 8. This is the weight being sold. Now what is the price at which it is being sold? That I write as selling price per unit. Selling price per unit will be CP per unit, which is X into. Now see what is the different impact. First CP is X. So what would be the MP marked price? The shopkeeper purchases from a wholesaler at a discount of 8.33%. So this means that 8.33 means 1 by 12. 1 by 12. So 11 by 12 of MP is X, right? Which is the cost price for the shopkeeper. So we can say MP will be nothing but 12 by 11 of 12 by 11 of X. So therefore SP per unit will be MP into discount. So X into 12 by 11, this becomes the MP into discount. Now he is offering a discount of 6.66%. 6.66 means 1 by 15. So what remains is 15 by 16 after giving a discount, right? So this is the total impact on the price. So total selling price will be quantity being sold into price at which it is being sold. So that is nothing but Q into 11 by 10 into 21 by 22 into 15 by 16 into 9 by 8 into, this is the quantity terms and this is the price term, into X into 12 by 11 into 15 by 16, and here I write, take away X, or better let me write here only, right? So this is the total selling price. What is total cost price to him? That is X into Q. He would have paid X into Q. So profit will be total SP upon total CP, which is total SP is Q into X into all these factors upon QX. So what remains is 11 by 10 into 21 by 22 into 15 by 16 into 9 by 8 into 12 by 11 into 15 by 16, right? So this we will solve actually. This we can, what will be the net term? So 11 into 21 into 15 into 9 into 12 into 15 divided by 10 divided by 22 divided by 16 divided by 8 divided by 11 divided by 16. So this gives 1.1325. So basically here it is nothing but 13.26% of profit, right? This is the answer we have got using a very, I mean, broken down approach. Now I solved this using the factor multiplication factor method. Here also we have used multiplication factor only, but here we have used the same thing in a very elaborate manner. Here we write directly SP will be nothing but CP into the impact of different factors. What is the impact of the purchase of rice from a wholesaler at a discount of 8.33? So it means that the the marked price will be 12 by 11 times this, right? 12 by 11 mark price will be 12 by 11 into, why is it 12 by 11? This we have seen here. Brings it to his own store, goat eats away 6.25. So 6.25% of quantity is gone away, so that will impact the SP by that much. So what impact will be 15 by 16 times. Then retailer mixes some synthetic rice to the extent of 12.5%. So this will increase the selling price by 12.5%. So 12.5 is 1 by 8, so this becomes 9 by 8. Now the leftover rice, now while selling he offers a discount of 6.66%. So 6.66% discount will bring down the SP by what factors? 14 by 15, right? Sorry, 6.6 is 1 by 15. So this will be 14 by 15. Here it will be, I've written it wrong here. It will be 14 by 15. 14 by 15. That I just come back and get the final answer here. 14 by 15. Now another factor, usage of balance which reads 11 kg for 10 kg. So this, I mean, what happens? 11 kg is a reading for actual weight of 10 kg. So that will have a profit impact on selling price, right? So 11 by 10. Then finally, another factor is that shopkeeper had used a faulty balance which reads 22 kg for every 21 kg. So this, the wholesaler had used this, sorry. So wholesaler was using a faulty balance which reads 22 kg for 21 kg. So meaning that this is a loss making affair for the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper would have paid for 22 kg. However, in actual he would have got only 21 kg. So this will reduce the factor by 21 by 22, right? 21 by 22. So this is the total, yeah, and this now will be, here we can say net profit percentage will be 12 by 11. We can simplify to some extent wherever feasible. 11 goes off, then 15 goes off, 4 2 ja 4, 3 ja it goes off, 2 7 it goes off. So I think that's it. So what remains is 3 into 9 into 7 into 21. 3 into 9 into 7 into 21 divided by 16 divided by 10 divided by 22. So this gives 12.75%. 12.75%. Right. So directly I write profit will be 12.75%. So essentially I have done the same thing what I had done here in the red ink. However, this red ink is a very elaborate one. We have broken this and understood in the terms of what is the net impact on the weight and the on the selling price, and then total selling price will be the weight into the selling price per unit, whereas the total cost price is total CP is X into Q, right? So those two things we know, then we can calculate the profit. This I also solve and write the answer. Let us see whether we get the same answer. Essentially, we should get, because we are doing the same thing, 21 into 15 into 9 into 12 into 14 divided by 10 divided by 22 divided by 16 divided by 8 divided by 11 divided by 15. So yeah, we get the same 12.75. So this is 12.75% profit. So this was a good question where we have seen an impact of different factors on the net profit, right? Now we'll move to next question, question number 11. This also essentially the same problem, I think a bit of a variation. Let us go through the question. It says that a shopkeeper purchases rice from a wholesaler at a discount of 8.33% and brings it to his own store where a goat eats away 6.25% of the rice. The retailer mixes some synthetic rice. Assume that the synthetic rice comes at a cost which is one fifth of the cost of original rice. Now here in the previous question, the rice, synthetic rice was free of cost. Here it has a cost. To the extent of 12.5% of the leftover rice, Further, while selling, he offers a discount of 6.66% on the MRP. However, he uses a balance which reads 11 kg for 10 kg actual weight. Find his percentage profit or loss if it is given that the wholesaler who sold rice originally to the shopkeeper also used a faulty balance which reads 22 kg for every 21 kg weight put over it. So again, a very good question. Let us see this. So here again I just break it up. Let us assume that shopkeeper purchases x sorry q kg of rice at rupees x per kg. This we have assumed. So total cost price will be what? X into q for shopkeeper. Now let us see what is the, yeah, what will be the marked price of the rice. Marked price, when when I write only MP, it's assumed that is per unit. Marked price per unit will be what? X is the cost price after a discount of 8.33%. 8.33% means 1 by 12. So 11 by 12 of the mark price has given X. So mark price will be X into 12 by 11. Right. Now let us see the impact on the quantity and the price. Both the things we will see. This side we will see the impact on selling quantity. Right. So original quantity was Q. Right. It was Q. Then goat eats away 6.25%. So what remains is Q into 6.25 means 1 by 16. So it remains is 15 by 16. Goat eats away. Right. Then retailer mixes some synthetic rice. Retailer mixes some synthetic rice. What is that? So Q into 15 by 16 and mixes to the extent of 12.5% of the leftover rice. So this gets increased by 12.5% means 1 by 8. So this becomes 9 by 8. Mixing synthetic rice. Then third factor, I mean this discount will have an impact on the prices, not on the quantity. Then the next factor is the balance, which reads 11 kg for 10 kg, right? 11 kg for 10 kg. So it becomes Q into 15 by 16 into 9 by 8 into what will be the quantity actually be perceived to be sold. That is, he will be getting a selling price over this quantity 11 by 10, right? And the wholesaler also had used a faulty balance and hence cheated the shopkeeper. So therefore this will not be Q. This will be originally it will be Q into, though the shopkeeper may think he has received Q kg, but actually he had received Q into 21 upon 22 kg. Wholesaler faulty machine, right? Impact of on weight being sold. So here also I'm bringing down this factor 21 by 22. So this is the net quantity being sold, right? This is the net quantity being sold. Uh, this is the faulty machine of shopkeeper. This is the net quantity being sold. At what price it is being sold? At what price it is being sold? So that impact we will see separately. Now let us see here. Marked price we know. So selling price is offering a discount of 6.66%. So selling price per unit will be marked price into discount. So 12x into 11 into 6.66 means that is 1 by 15. So that becomes 14 by 15. Selling price per unit is 14 by 15. Right. Now one factor we need to consider more, and that factor is the addition of synthetic rice, which is not free of cost. That has actually a cost, and that is 1/5 of the cost of original rice. So here we will use the concept of alligation to find the cost of the mixture. Now the cost of the original rice was x cube. Total CP of uh, I mean original rice or pure rice, I write pure rice is x cube. However, when he mixes something, so that so here I will find out total cost price of mixture. Let us see how to find this out. Here, what is it? A mixture is there. 12.5% means if 8 is the original rice, 1 unit is the synthetic rice. What is the price of 8 unit? I mean, this is in the ratio of 5 is to 1, right? It's given that the synthetic rice costs 1/5. So if this cost 5 rupee, this will cost 1 rupee. So let us assume, and the difference is what? 8 plus 1, 9. So 9, right? So we will multiply this here 45 and 9. So what I have done here, 8 unit is the quantity of original rice, 1 unit is of synthetic rice. The original rice is 5 times the synthetic rice, that is what is given. Synthetic rice cost 1/5 of the cost of the original rice. Now here we will try to find the weighted average price of the mixture. So this will be in the ratio 1 is to 8, inverse ratio. So the difference 45 minus 9 is 36 will be divided in the ratio of 36 represents 9 units. So 1 represents 4 units. So this will be nothing but 41. Weighted price will be average will be 41 rupees per kg, right? So weighted average price we have got. Weighted average price of the mixture we have got 41 per kg. So CP is 41 per kg. What is the total weight of the, this is the CP, right? This is the CP. However, what is the total weight which the shopkeeper had bought? He had bought X kg of the original rice, right? And then what is the synthetic rice? That is 12.5% of the leftover rice, right? Synthetic rice is this much. I mean 1 by 8 of this term. So we will come here. Weight of, so let us, I mean, here we have found that CP of the mixture is 41 kg. Weight of synthetic rice is what? That is nothing but Q into 15 by 16 into 21 by 22 into 1 by 8, right? 1 by 8. And what is the weight of the original rice, that is q kg. So total weight will be, so I write here further, total weight of mixture will be nothing but this, right? Total weight of mixture will be total weight of mixture for calculating the cost price, that is q plus q into 15 by 16 into 21 by 22 into 1 by 8. So here q I will take common, this becomes 1 plus 15 by 16 into 21 by 22 into 1 by 8, right? This I solve and find out. So what is the value? So that is nothing but 15 by 16 into 21 into 1 divided by 22 divided by 8 plus 1. So this becomes nothing but 1.11, 1.1186 q, right? This is the total weight of the mixture. So total price of the mixture, total cost of the mixture, total cost of mixture is equal to total cost of mixture for shopkeeper is nothing but this into the weighted average, which is 41. So that becomes 45 into 5863 q. So here the CP will be basically CP per unit will be, I mean, for if 45 rupees is the price of the original rice, then the average cost is 48. So when this is x rupees per unit, it will be 41 upon 45 into x, right? So now we will multiply this 1.11186 into 41 upon 45 by into x. So that basically will give me, what I am doing, I am multiplying 1.11186 into 41 by 45x. So that will give 1.01303 into x into q. So this is the total cost of the mixture. Now total selling price, we know total selling price we can find out here, because total SP per unit into quantity, right? So that I can calculate, that is 15 into 9 into 11 into 21 divided by 16 divided by 8 divided by 10 divided by 22 is equal to, here I write this as 1.107421 8 q, and this multiplied by the SP per unit is 14 into 12 by 14 into 12 by 11 by 15. So this gives SP is equal to, total SP is equal to, I mean, I'm multiplying 12 by 11 into 14 by 15 into x into this quantity 1.1074. So that I am getting as 1.1276 into x into q. So profit will be total SP upon total Cp minus 1. So profit factor I write here, that will be 1 divided 1.1275 divided by 1.01303. X cube will get cancelled. So here it is coming as 1.1130. So we can say that percentage profit is nothing but 11.30% of profit. This is the answer to this question. So this is a very good question where different factors were involved. We broke down the question into different parts, and what we did, we first calculated the impact on the weight, calculated the impact on the selling price, and also we calculated the what is the effective cost price. See, we did not use the chain rule of the multiplying factor as we had used in this question, because see, here the price of the synthetic rice was assumed to be free, that is 0. So therefore it would not impact the cost price. Now as soon as the synthetic rice or the impurity which is being mixed, that also has a price, then the effective cost price will change. So therefore we simply cannot I mean, these factors have an impact on the selling price, whereas the cost price remains same. So therefore we could use this chain rule method. But now in the question number 11, even the price of the synthetic rice which was being mixed had a certain price, non-zero price. So therefore the cost price also would have changed. So what was the impact on the cost price, that we calculated here. Cost price of the mixture we calculated, and then we got the total selling price, total cost price, the ratio of that we have given, that gave us the profit percentage. So this was a good question. You can just pause the video and go through the different one. Any query you can get back to us. It will be pleasing to help you out. So thanks for watching this video. We'll meet again in the next session on a different subject. Thanks.